Hey ladies, Jackie here, and I'm back with your next tutorial. Does my skin look different? That's because I have foundation and concealer on, which we will go over in another video. But today's video is going to be on a basic neutral eye. Okay, so that's my problem. Besides smoky eye, it's my #1 requested look. I just want something that looks really great for during the day, but that's not too over the top and dramatic. So I'm going to show you how to do that and some basic key things to think of when you're doing a basic neutral eye. So first and foremost, you're going to want to prime your eyes. What is prime? If you have, let me ask you this. Do you have issues with your eyeshadow creasing? Or do you have issues with your eyeshadow moving? Kind of like you put it on, but it's not really in the same place as you put it on in the beginning of the day, at the end of the day. Or do you have issues with, I put my shadow on in the beginning of the day, and by the end of the night, I need to reapply it. If you do, an eye primer will 99% of the time solve that problem. Okay, an eye primer basically will prime the eyes and get them ready for pigment, just like a face primer does. So an eye primer is going to go on your eyes, and I'll show you how to do that. And when you apply your shadow, which by the way, I used to have issues with that, creasing. It used to drive me crazy. In the middle of the day, I'd be just wiping the crease away. An eye primer will eliminate that, okay? And also it helps the pigment, the shadow, pop on your eye so it stays vibrant all day long. You shouldn't have to reapply your shadow at the end of the day unless you're wanting to enhance your eyes or go a little bit more dramatic at the end of the day. Okay, so I use Younique's eye primer. You can use a face primer for your eyes too. So I'm going to tell you about some secret cheat methods. I'm always a girl about wanting to get more bang for her buck. So if you have face primer, you can also use face primer on the eye. My eyelids tend to be a little oilier, so a specific eye primer works better for me. And if you have oilier lids, then I would recommend a specific eye primer for your lids as well. So this is how much primer you need. Not a whole lot. So you just put a little dab on your finger, rub your fingers together, and then apply it to the entire lid. All the way up to the brow, wherever you're putting your shadow. And then you'll want that to dry just for a few seconds. This specific primer has a neutral tint to it, but it kind of goes on clear. Okay, the next thing that I want to go over with you are brushes. So brushes can really make or break your eye look at the end of the day. So I'm going to show you 3 basic brushes that I recommend you have in your arsenal of makeup. Okay, your bag of makeup. One is just going to be a basic brush. We call this a Deluxe Brush, but it's just a fat head, and it's a basic eyeshadow brush. 2 is a Crease Brush. So a Crease Brush will get into the crease and helps with some blending. So this is #2. And 3, this is called a liner brush. So you can see it's thin and it's got an angle on it. Liner brush. This particular brush has a shader brush on the other side too. So remember I told you I'm all about bang for your buck. You get 2 brushes in one. Genius. So those brushes, those are the 3 basic brushes that I recommend that you have. And I'm going to show you how to use all 3 using a basic eye look. Okay, next is I recommend that you find a good palette that you love that has some versatility into it. What does that mean, versatility? I'm going to show you this one. There's a mirror in here, so sorry for the glare. But the versatility means that this particular palette has light to dark colors. So I can create a lot of different looks with this palette, meaning I can do an easy, basic, neutral day look. I can do a medium look for maybe if I'm just going out with my girlfriends. And I can do a dramatic nighttime look if I'm going to a ball, okay? And also the nice thing about this palette is all the colors go together. So there are so many palettes out there. Find a palette that has those 3 basic things. Easy to light, and has a variety of colors that all go together. All right, so let's get to it. First things first, we're doing a basic neutral eye, so I'm going to do a base shadow, which I'm going to apply over my entire lid, and I'm not going to go up to the brow bone because we're keeping this neutral. And I'm going to use this color right here, which is called Tender. Yep, Tender, and it is a neutral cream. It's a neutral cream. And I'm using my Deluxe Brush. Okay, that's this brush right here. And I'm just going to apply it right in. Now this particular color has a slight shimmer to it. So if you're doing a daytime look, it's okay to do a little bit of shimmer, but you don't want to be glittery during the day. I'm going to go right into the inner corner of the eye. The inner corner of the eye is going to help brighten my eye as well, okay? So get right into the inner corner, right into the crease, to the outside. You're just creating a base. Now, if you're a minimalist, you could wear just this, okay? If you're a minimalist and you just want something to neutralize the skin tone on the top of your lids, then this is perfect. You can just do this. I'm going to create some dimension and depth for you so you can see how to do that without being overly dramatic. All right. So that's done. I got the inner corners of my eye. Now, we're going to create a little bit of dimension and depth. So we're going to add some dimension, some shadowing effect to the eyes, just to play up the eyes, but without being dramatic. And I'm going to do that with Arrogant, which is this brown right here. And I'm going to do that with my Crease Brush. So let me show you that. That's the Crease Brush. And I'm going to show you how I do this. Just dab it in. Oops. Dab it in like that. I'm going to tap my brush, okay, and that just gets off the excess pigment that might end up on here that you don't want to fall on your face. Then, what I want you to do is to find the center of your eyebrow, okay? Just find the center of your eyebrow, and that's where you're going to start, because we're not going to go all the way in. We're not doing drama. We're doing basic neutral. Center of your eyebrow, start right there, and then just pull it out, okay? And then what I want you to do is to come down to the lid, kind of like an upside or a sideways V, like that. And then go all the way to the out where you ended your brow, which we're going to go over brows, don't worry. And you can see it, it's just adding some shadowing. It's not really dramatic. And then I'm going to fill in that space. And I do little circular motions. Okay, you see that? I'm going to do just a tad bit more. And again, you can make it as dark as you want, but we're just creating some dimension in the eye. This will also make your eyes look bigger and draw the natural eye up. It's all an illusion, but you can create an illusion using makeup. Okay, just like that. Let's do the other side. So finding the middle of my brow, starting there, and then drawing out. And then making the outside V. And I'm also going slightly above my brow bone, just slightly. You want to make sure you do that so that your makeup isn't settling just into the crease. If you do that, unless you want your eyes to look smaller, you would do it just into the crease. But most people want to open their eyes, they want to look awake and alert. So I'm going all the way out to the outside. Okay, so there I have a little bit of dimension, a little bit of shadow, nothing dramatic. Now, we are going to use Brave, okay, which is the darkest brown. And I'm actually going to create a liner with it. And it's not going to be a black dramatic liner. It's just going to be a dark brown liner, again, to create a little more dimension. The nice thing is that you can apply it dry with your liner brush, but I'm going to apply it wet. And you just got to get your brush wet. You can spray it with water. I'm spraying mine with rose water, which is your toner. Just so you know, you can use rose water as to wet your brush to make a liner. So I'm dabbing it in, and then I'm going to go right into the end of my lid, right? As close to the lashes as possible, and just dab across. And I'm going to give just a little bit of a cat eye, but you see how soft it is? It's nothing dramatic. It's just a nice little soft look. Also, here's another trick. Because you want to make sure the eyes are all filled in and you leave no spaces, with a good shadow, you can actually go right into the waterline, and the waterline is underneath where the lashes meet the eyeball, like this. Okay, so make sure your makeup is hypoallergenic so that it doesn't cause any irritation. Let's do just a little bit more. Again, just a soft little liner. There. See the difference? Basic, neutral. Let's do the other side. Wetting my brush again. Rose water smells so good too. Okay, starting in the outer corner. And don't worry, we're going to do the bottom too, but I wanted to show you just the top because you can do just the top for a basic neutral eye. Okay, so there you have it. Of course, you know, my lashes aren't done yet, but you can see basic neutral eye adds a little bit of dimension, no drama. Now, if you wanted to take it a step further and enhance your eyes a little bit more, let me show you some other tricks that you can do. Now, if you haven't or aren't aware, there's a trick that you can do to open up your eyes and make them appear bigger, and that's using white liner. Now, white liner tends to be a little bit more dramatic, and I recommend that you use that probably for a nighttime look. But there's another secret and a trick that you can do that isn't quite as noticeable that will open up your eyes, and that's yellow liner or gold. This can be, I guess, considered yellow or gold, but it actually blends better within your skin pigmentation, because no matter what you are, even if you're pink pigmentation, the inside part of your eye tends to be lighter, and this blends better and it's less noticeable. So I'm going to take this liner and go into the inside of my bottom eye. You can see it going on. Okay, you see the effect it already has? It's so fun. So just like that. Opens up the eyes, makes them appear brighter. Now, I'll probably take my, remember I used Brave, which is the darker brown, as a liner, and I'm just going to take it and do a little bit on the bottom. Just a little bit, okay? And I'm just doing the outer corner where it meets the top. Again, creating just a little bit more dimension. So if you're someone that, oh my gosh, there's no way I have to have something on the bottom of my lid, you can do something as little as just the outer corner little liner. You can see the difference that it makes already, draws the eye up and out. If you need a little bit more, go back and use your crease brush. Use the light brown shade and use that for the bottom as well, and you go straight across. Just to create a little bit more color and dimension. See what happens there? I like that. And there you have it. So you can see basic neutral shadow. So here's the key thing. Light to dark. Okay, always do light in the inner corner. Use it as your base. Create a little bit of darkness in the outer corner from the middle of your eyebrow out, and then a neutral liner, like a shade slightly darker than what you used on the outer corner to soften. Use yellow liner on the bottom to open up and brighten your eyes, and the same color that you used in the crease in the outer corner on the bottom if you want a little bit of color and dimension on the bottom lid. Then all you gotta do is apply your mascara and your eyes are done. I hope that helps. If you have any questions, please comment below or feel free to private message me. I know some of you already have some questions and I love it. I'd be happy to answer anything you have. That's it. Until the next video, you guys have an amazing day. Ciao.